On this episode of Tea Time with the Lovelies, we'll be discussing the America's Next Top Model documentary that was on Netflix. And if y'all wondering why we were late on this recording, is because I fucked up the first one, so my apologies.
We're back.
But we're back. Yes. So does anyone want to start off with their opinions first? Yes.
I'll start.
Okay.
For me, I don't like how even within the documentary, we're still being lied to. Like we
Mm-hmm.
figured out on the show that it felt like they were trying to put all the blame on Tyra when all the blame wasn't really for her. And then even in the documentary, they're still trying to place all the blame on her. And yes, while some stuff was like her fault because we learned that she was one of the editing people, she was like not in charge. She wasn't as in charge as people assumed she was. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
She was just the face. So I'm just like, that's what was getting me the whole time.
Makes sense, yeah. For me,
Oh, go ahead.
for me is like I don't know. Like I kind of understand what. Well, I can't put myself in that situation, but I kind of understand what the girls were coming from. But at the same time, it's like I don't know.
I would have
Like
been
I can't.
left like, ooh.
Like I
Mhm.
can't understand from like yeah they're explaining to us what happened. Yeah, some of the shit they did was very fucked up, but at the same time they went on the show. Like I just can't believe that like you went on a reality TV show and honestly thought like you're gonna be a model. Like,
Yeah, I
cause
think after like
yes, I'm
the
sorry.
fourth season, when did anyone just decide, hey, I'm not gonna go on that show?
Hmm.
Like after like season 4 or 5, at that point, I think most of us were aware that it was not that good of a show.
Like
Right.
So
even like with the newer seasons, like by that time, some of the girls already had spoke out by then. Like a good majority of them had spoke out by then. So it's like you knew what the show kind of was about. So like yeah, granted, like they didn't really discuss like some of the things that some of the producers had did. Like and each person's experience is different, but you kind of had an idea of what it was like. So it's like and plus
Right.
they
A
give
lot
you
of
the
them.
sorry, but they give you the contract to read, so, like, I don't know if they give you a
Exactly.
certain time limit to read it, quote, unquote, "read it," but it's like, I don't know.
Didn't one of the girls talk about the contract and how she still ended up signing it anyway?
Yeah, someone from who's on season 5 and on season 17, she said her lawyer friend like read over the documentary the contract for season 17, the all-star season, and was like yeah this is dumb, like you shouldn't sign it, but she pretty much signed it anyway, or allegedly
Right.
that's pretty much what happened, allegedly. So it's
It's
like
just for me.
mhm.
Also, I feel like I can get the girls in the like first three cycles, like feeling hurt because when America's Next Top Model started, it did genuinely seem like a modeling show that was like teaching you
Mhm.
how to model and
Mhm.
showing you the like is like there was still drama, like them getting their teeth fixed, their hair cut off and weave put in and all that. Like there was that type of stuff, but it just seemed more like modeling. The modeling challenges weren't like insane and stuff like that, you know?
Mhm. Even like I saw a clip like yesterday actually. it was like before Top Model even started, like I think it was like a few weeks or a few days before it started, before they even started filming. Tyra was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not only a executive producer. I'm gonna be a manager for whoever wins. I'm gonna help them." Da 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 da. It like it felt like it genuinely like she was trying to help them, but
I think when
production, like not just
production started,
production and like the higher ups, like got in the way of her wanting to do that. So
right? Because like people, I feel like what people also fail to understand is like at the end of the day, Tyra is still like a black woman in a white industry. So I do feel like
yeah.
at the start she wanted good things,
Mhm.
and then they said even in the documentary they were starting to threaten to pull her show because show reality TV shows like Favor Flav and um boot camp. It was like a boot camp show where they turn you into like classy girls. Like all of them shows was doing extreme shit and they was getting the views. And they told Tyra like this is getting boring and basically said either you're gonna make some changes or we're cutting the show off or kick you off the show.
Mhm.
Right. I think
There
we're
was
like
go
I think
ahead,
I said
Bear.
this last time, but I think where a lot of the girls I understand where some of the girls, are mad at Tyra because a lot of them they were young, so they were sold a narrative of like, I'm gonna go on the show and the Tyra Banks is gonna help me become a model. And then, for a lot of them nothing came of it, which is why I think I said last time she at the height of this show where it was the most popular and she was making the most money and she was doing that talk show, she could have started like a small modeling agency
Mhm.
where she became the voices for these girls and like forced companies to work with them. And then I feel like this everything that happened now would have not happened had she had more integrity, probably. But also that also
Yeah.
goes for the other co-hosts that were on the show with her,
Yeah.
who are
Cuz
like throwing her under the bus now. But they were also there, not helping these girls.
exactly. Mhm.
So,
They're
Right.
also
Like
all grown
hmm
men and women that could have
and
said
all these girls
something.
were like 18, 19, 21 on this show who didn't know any better and were just, trying to reach a dream to get out of
Mhm.
their bad environments.
Right.
and
Cuz
it's like
what?
some of the stuff like you can tell the show was just going downhill morality wise
Mhm.
Mhm.
too with the whole like everything must be recorded. Like that's weird. And
Facts.
not even a lot of like even a lot of like shows like Flavor Flav and stuff, they weren't recording everything. If
Mhm.
something intimate was happening, like they stopped recording. They didn't keep recording that stuff, you know?
Facts. And like I don't know. I just can't like understand or comprehend like as to why they thought that was okay. So yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, like the camera's always recording on the models, blah blah blah. But in that situation, that didn't need to be shown on air or recorded in
Right.
general. Like it's
Because even
sad.
my thing is, even if
Yeah.
she was sober and she wanted to cheat on her boyfriend, that's still intimacy. Like y'all followed her not only in the bathroom, but in her room
Mhm.
to where everything was taking place. And at one point where they like, I think this is too much. I personally don't understand how they sat there and watched her drink a whole bottle and then
Mhm.
let her go walk off and have sex two separate times with somebody that she didn't know
Mhm.
Exactly. And it's
after they also said they hadn't eaten all day.
mhm. That's another issue, but and also it's sad
And
that the cameraman had to apologize for recording like when she had to call her boyfriend and like break the news to him that she pretty much allegedly cheated but was sexually assaulted pretty much. So
then, because well, she didn't even know she was assaulted. She didn't know that that was
yeah,
like an act, like a definition like that could happen. All she knew
right.
was
She
she
had
woke
sex.
up, kind of remembered, and was like, I didn't even want to do that. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
And everybody like they went with the narrative of oh she cheated, and
Mhm.
then all the co-hosts, I think including Tyra, I'm not sure, that hasn't been confirmed or denied yet, but all the co-hosts were like, oh she's having sex with this guy,
Mhm.
and that's all they're being told because they went back home for to their hotels and stuff for the day.
I don't know.
It's just like the amount of like assault and harassment that was on the show was
Mhm.
kind of ridiculous,
Mhm.
and they just let stuff like pass. And then again, in the same breath, they're all still blaming Tyra, like the girl when she was doing the African shoot
Mhm.
and the guy was like harassing her, and she was like, what would Tyra do in this situation? And she was like, well, Tyra being the boss that she is, she would stop production and say something. And
Right.
Mhm.
then what's his face was like, well, I thought about what Tyra would do in this moment, and she would just suck it up. And I'm
Mhm.
just like, but why would your so-called best friend have to suck up being harassed? At no point in time did you think, wow, that's kind of fucked up. My friend probably goes through this too, and she just
Right.
sucks it up. So I'm gonna tell this
Yeah.
girl to suck it up.
Exactly.
Even when they got back to
The p
the show,
the panel?
Tyra was like,
Mhm.
"I would've paused the set and told him, like, get his hands off me." So she did exactly what Tyra said she would have done, but she still got blamed for standing up for herself.
Exactly.
Right.
And then
I would have been pissed off.
For Tyra to say, "Oh, can you boo? I'm so sorry, boo boo. I'm so sorry," or whatever. f- I'm like, her calling her boo boo and all that. That
Mhm.
was kind of odd and weird because, like, why would you? It makes it sound not very serious in this whole entire
Yeah.
situation.
I
Like a
feel like
girl got
she tries to
touched.
talk like I feel like she tries to talk like she's still like in the hood, but girl, you've been out the hood for so long, it's not
Facts. She
translating.
lives in Australia now, but
At the time, they're like housing it up in like New
facts.
York. Like
She's
tried to sound like a
bi-coastal.
mom, but
Mhm. I don't know. It's just like my whole thoughts on Tyra in this whole documentary is like I don't think I don't think she had any executive producing to do with it. Like I don't think she was an executive producer. I don't think she had anything like behind the scenes to do with it. But at the same time,
they
she
also
wasn't
tried to
really
say
talking
she
it
was
taking
a
it serious.
yeah. People was trying to say like when she talked, when she was like, "Oh, I became an editor." Like I feel like she wasn't even an editor for real. I feel like
Mm.
she just was
Watched
back there watching like a little kid, and they
yeah.
was doing all the work. It's like
Mm,
even in the documentary, like Tyra is getting put all the blame, but she also seems like she don't even know what the hell is going on half the time.
mhm. Most of the blame, which I feel is rightfully deserved, is Ken Mock, who helped create the show. Cause like
I
most of
agree.
those shoots he was involved in. So
Right. He the one who set up the rules.
fact.
And then when it was time for the challenges, when I think what it was cycle 5, when they started introducing all them crazy ass challenges, like
Pretty much, yeah.
him and that other lady was coming up with all of that shit. And he was like, he really, like, he kind of said in the documentary that he really only regretted like one or two of the challenges because he was
Right.
like, I went too far. But I'm like, a lot of this shit you went too far with in general.
Exactly.
Like, you had the skinny anorexic girl posing a casket with a bunch of food.
Mhm.
You
After
had the
finding
girl
out her
who
friend just died.
Yeah.
you had the girl whose mom got killed in domestic violence. You had her pose like she got shot in the head, but that was the one you felt bad about out of
Mhm.
all of the ones.
Facts. Yeah, people like different anorexic and bulimic like type photo shoots with
And he was like, "Oh, I was just trying to bring awareness." Like, were you though?
mm, I don't know. And it's easy, I guess, for them to blame the time, but with the lack of social media w- that people had at the time, like people couldn't really tweet about it or make a Instagram post about it, so you never really know what people were thinking at the time.
Right. It's like they had Twitter and stuff, but
Yeah,
that's about it.
pretty much that and Facebook.
Yeah, people like live tweeting it and stuff, but it's
Mhm.
like none of that really matters for real. And
Mhm.
I hate like also like in the documentary they like tell us how Tyra had like no control over a lot of things, but then tell us that she also knew a lot of things. So like which one is it?
Exactly.
And I think, they blame the times, which is fair, but they also had these girls who were complaining from the get-go. So at
Mhm.
what point do you hear girls in 2009 saying, "Hey, I don't really like the way you're treating me. Do you not take that advice and go to the next season and try to do better?" And so they were just doing worse and worse each time.
Yeah.
So
Right.
blame the times for maybe like Shandy's situation because a lot of us we didn't have the wording to know that that would be considered sexual assault. But like
Mhm.
with everything else, there's really no excuse because these girls were telling you how you're treating them and you didn't listen. So
Yeah. And I just felt, especially with the makeovers, like
mhm,
truly felt bad, even though that was one of my favorite episodes to watch. It was like at the same time, now older watching those, it's like, why would you bleach someone's hair to the point that their scalp is burning to where you have to pour milk on it, which that happened like season 4,
I'm wondering
or
if they even hired like licensed people
which
who
is
knew how to do hair.
exactly, cause like, they'll bring them to all these, like, fancy, like, salons and stuff, but who are the people who are actually working there?
mhm.
Cause like, why is this white girl from the middle of Nebraska wearing 5, 10, no, like, 30-inch weave, and, like, they don't keep it up, like, they don't have days, well, it looks like it from, like, judging. They don't, like, help ma keep the maintenance
Maintain it.
up, yeah,
Mhm.
'cause it's
And it's also
like
like
go
with
ahead.
the black girls, it's like, "Tyra, you're black. You could whoever did your hair, you couldn't bring them in to do the black girls' hair. You're just
Exactly.
embarrassing them on national television with white women who don't know how to do their hair."
I mean, to be honest, Tyra hair didn't look that great either, but
Mm, at least it looks somewhat like, TV presentable.
yeah, I was just like, it's
But
like, and then some of these girls should have just known when to walk away. Like that girl with the buck teeth.
mhm,
Like her mom told her, like, if you don't want to get rid of your gap and you love your gap, I'm not gonna judge you for leaving. And then she got it done anyway, and then was upset because the white girl got to keep hers in the later season. But I'm
yeah,
like, you're not
sh
a white girl, unfortunately.
yeah, and she stayed and won the whole season, so
Exactly. I'm like, at the end of the day, like some of these decisions was y'all's. They told y'all, do this or leave. And you was like, I'm gonna do it. Me
mm,
personally, I would have fucking left.
yeah,
And then with that situation also, the fact that none of them men, the guy who was in charge of taking photos and stuff, now he wanna say on the documentary that he thought nothing was wrong with her buck teeth and he thought it would be perfect to shoot, but you ain't say nothing. You're saying you didn't have the ability to do anything, but still saying something is like giving her a voice of reason, you know?
Mhm.
mhm,
Like a lot of these people were just too afraid to speak up. I'm like, you are already famous in your industry. If you get taken off of this show, it's like, oh well, you're gonna go back to your regular job.
Yeah. And which that's pretty much what happened to Jay, the one with the spiky white hair, Jay Manuel.
Yeah.
He said after season 8 he wanted to leave, and he respectfully like sent Tyra an email, like basically thanking her for like bringing him onto the show and whatever, and like wanting to like do other things creatively. And she just like replied with 3 words, and pretty much he said he was pretty much blackmailed to stay. So,
Which how was he blackmailed to stay unless he did something crazy?
which meaning
He was
she,
threatened with, being blacklisted, meaning if he
yeah,
wanted to work in that industry, he never could.
basically,
Oh,
yeah. So,
I
yeah.
like I said blackmailed. I was like, what did he do?
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. But yeah, so it's like I kind of understand, but at the same time, you don't want to risk your livelihood, I guess, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I don't
Is that?
know. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I know what it's like to like have a dream like of being like a certain type of famous that's very hard to get into, especially like if you're a person of color. Like I want to be a singer. I wanted to be a famous singer. My parents were gonna like try to put me in the classes and all that. But then at the end of the day, I realized like, young me was like, this is not a realistic dream
Mm-hmm.
because this industry is already so like oversaturated kind of with other people who also want the same dream as me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I could have got on America's Got Talent or something like that, but I was just like I don't want to go through with a potential like humiliation ritual
Mhm.
just to get it.
Right.
Like no, I don't want to be humiliated on national TV if I freeze up because I have stage fright like
Yeah.
and I wish other girls like had that like leeway and was like, but there are other ways that I can achieve my dream. Like a lot of these girls was like they still had to go out and work and make a name for themselves anyway because America's Got Talent like basically tarnished their name.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, "Oh, we've seen the type of stuff you do. We've seen like your TV personality and we don't want to work with you." So you basically had to work from ground zero. So you could have worked from ground zero from jump.
Right. And that I saw a clip also like yesterday, like a couple days ago, that even Marcel, who used to be Eva Pickford on the show, the whole reason why her name changed was so she could like not be associated with top model, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. So, which I don't know how that works legally, but I feel like that's pretty much smart if you think about
Mhm.
it. So it's
Yeah.
like they could have at least did something along those lines too if they really wanted to. But again, I don't know how much that costs or the legality
It's not
things
that
around
hard.
that.
It can
So
be it can be costly because that's a lot of medical like documents. I think
true.
just for changing my last name, it costs like maybe $100. First names is a little bit more complicated because that's more like of a serious name change. And you
Right.
basically have to tell them like why are you change like this is something very important for you to be changing and we
Right.
need to make sure you're like
Safe.
okay with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she probably just changed her name like on paper, like how most
Mm-hmm.
places now will call you by a nickname and stuff.
Mhm.
Right.
She was like, "Oh, I just go by this, and
Mm.
most people don't try to check it. They don't need your
Right.
social security number for
Right.
modeling.
Because when they search even more so, they're not gonna see like a whole bunch of top model stuff.
Right.
So which
And
is
then apparently we learned in the documentary that Tyra was basically kind of going crazy because they were threatening to pull her from the show entirely. they're like, "We don't want you to be the face of America's Top Model anymore."
Mhm.
Mhm.
Apparently towards the end, which I think is kind of crazy because Tyra has already been labeled like the angry black woman of modeling,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna take her off.
Mhm. Cause like, if anything, cause watch the show pretty much all. I watched pretty much all the seasons except for like some of season 23, which is the season where Rita Ora was the host, which that's a random person to pick to host the show. Cause like, yeah, yeah, those whatchamacallit, the ratings were dropping, but that sounds like y'all
I think
need to
that was
find
just
a
the sign, like
that
people
Either
weren't fucking with
stop the show
reality TV shows.
entirely.
yeah, either
Yeah.
stop the show entirely or do something that's completely different that'll like at least that'll bring in the views. Like not do like I feel like the British invasion like was an effort into try to bring up more views, which
Mhm.
which was
I feel like if they did
interesting.
like America's Top Model, if they would have kept going with that, I feel
Yeah.
like going with Britain out of all the places wasn't great. I feel like if they would have went like Africa,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Middle East,
Mhm.
Asia, and you working with those different like fashion styles and you work with the fashion people like of that area, that would have been like amazing.
Mhm.
But keeping it with like cycle 1 through 3 like stuff, like not doing the extreme
Yeah.
shit,
That's what I was saying,
that
like,
would have been
the
fun.
moment they came to Tyra and said, "We need you to fire your closest friends," had she, like, dropped it right then at the height of the show and just, like, did her own thing with, like, a modeling agency, she could've been so popular right now, she wouldn't have to be in Australia selling hot ice cream.
Facts.
She would've had, like, her own popular model industry right now. But sometimes you have to have, like, I know Hollywood is, like, a crazy place, and once you get sucked in, it, like, sucks the soul out of you, but more celebrities need to just have integrity.
In the
Like, the
backbone.
moment they came to
Right.
me and were like, "We're gonna fire your friends, or we're gonna cut the whole show," I'm like, "Cut the whole show," because
Facts.
they've been with me from day one. Like, why would I kick them off and then keep going?
Facts. And
And
you
then look
could
what happened. She got kicked off her own show anyway.
facts.
Yeah. I felt like she got so into like the delusion that this was still her show, like this was still
Mhm.
Tyra's show, that she was willing to do anything to keep it. And unfortunately, that also meant like screwing over her closest friends,
Mhm.
which one of them still ended up like staying with her. So I don't
Mhm.
understand what was the point of making that whole thing a situation because you still came back for her at the end because you wasn't getting any
Which
jobs or
one?
anything, Miss J.
Yeah, a season, I think, a season or two.
Oh yeah, that's because he was in China for the show already. So technically, it was like in every other country, this was his show because they
Mhm.
liked him over there. So he was in China and another place. So he
Mhm.
came back because he was already popular and trying to bring the views
Yes.
back to America.
Mhm. Mhm. And then he ended up having a stroke,
Yeah.
and Tyra never visited him, which is interesting. And she still hasn't, allegedly. And then I remember, like, I think it was the last episode or the second episode. I don't remember. Basically, when the producers brought up to Tyra, if they're gonna talk to Jay or if she wanted to talk about Jay, and she's like, "No, I'm gonna just have a private conversation to him." And
Hmm.
then I remember seeing after the documentary, like interviews with Mr. J. He was like, "Well, she still hasn't called me, and I don't think she will." So,
Yeah.
which she didn't seem like she wanted to anyway. So it's like, oh well, you can't make people, I guess, communicate
Hmm.
to people, even though Miss J helped her with her model rock when she was like 16, 17 years old. And
And
Mr.
like you also
J,
just never know, like What if something happened that neither one of them wants to bring up that happened between them in
True.
closed doors, you know?
Mhm.
True. True. Not our business.
Right. I feel like both of those things are just like a it's not my business, not
Yeah.
your business type thing.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, people grow apart.
Right.
Right. Because it's like, again, they've been knowing each other since she was 16. Like anything could have happened behind the scenes
True.
in the personal life where they just grew apart. Like,
Mhm.
Tyra's like, this is a grown ass man. Like, I don't need to be hanging around him. I need to hang around people my age or something, you know? I don't
Mhm.
know. If I was Miss J, I wouldn't even came back to the show, me personally,
Facts.
but I also feel like the only reason a lot of these models is now kind of coming out is because of the age of social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And now they can their this is basically their second way of getting famous.
Mhm.
Because now everybody's gonna want to follow them on social media and brands are gonna try to work with them to give them their modeling dream or whatever, you know. Because I just saw the girl on TikTok, the one who was considered plus size,
Mhm.
who's actually plus size now. Like she's on TikTok now, like spilling the beans about her time on American Top Model. Like
Mhm.
the which speaking of that situation, um the fact that they kicked that black girl off for basically telling them how y'all fashion designers and don't got nothing to fit me,
Mhm.
or did they purposely just not bring anything and then she got kicked off the show for that? That was kind of fucked up.
Fact.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which is.
To me, that's like kind of insane because like Tyra already had to fuss with that fucking bitch about calling people fat
Mhm.
and plus size. But to kick a girl off after she like rightfully so spoke up, like, what's the point of having me here if
Yeah.
y'all are just gonna say y'all don't got nothing to fit me?
And it's speaking of that, it's weird to me that they'll like complain. Well, I wouldn't say complain or they'll critique a girl about certain things, and then the next time they'll see her in panel, they'll be like, "Why are you so like not here? Why don't you have a personality anymore? What happened?" And it's
Right.
like, well, y'all kept picking on me every week, so
You just sucked the life out of me. Now what am I supposed to
fact.
do?
Like,
Right.
like, do y'all expect me to sit here and smile the whole time? Like, or
Right, just like
what?
the girl Tyra snapped at. It's like
Mhm.
you're mad at her for not being angry after you just sent her to anger management classes. I don't understand.
Mhm. Like, she's like laughing for instead of crying that she's going home,
It's just
and
like
you're
being the
angry about
sport, and you're
that.
like, you should be groveling on the ground right now.
It's like, wow,
Which
you take the negative traits about people that was hindering them and you help them and now they're not acting how you want to. Which
which
like I can see
mm,
it's like I wonder if anger management classes also just teach you to not express like emotions properly. Because I don't think her problem was ever expressing that she was angry, but the situations that she was expressing it wasn't proper. Like
Right.
right.
I don't know how anger management works, but I feel like it kind of just treats you to like not express anger when you're supposed to. And I feel
Mhm.
like Tyra was kind of frustrated because she's like, this is a situation you should be angry at. You should be angry with yourself for not trying like the reading prompt or whatever. And you're not. And people are like, well, you just said her anger was the problem. But this is also a situation where you're supposed to be angry. It's like,
Mhm.
is anger management actually helping you how to like
But I think
properly express?
where it helped her was I think she said by that point production and Tyra had picked on her so constantly that she was kind of already checked out. So she wasn't
Yeah.
angry because she was like, "Well, this is over finally, and you're not gonna take me out of character and have me act the way you want me to act when I'm okay. I've come to terms with not wanting to do this anymore." So I think she was
Right.
not angry because she was like, "Well, finally, I can go
Mhm.
home."
Right. And I remember seeing the doc that one of the judges who were there, who like saw what happened, he was like, "Well, the girl who got yelled at first said she said so much worse stuff than was actually sold." So me kind of like wanted to know what actually was said, because like what worse could she could have said.
Right.
And two, the judge I was talking about, he was like, we had to have lawyers on
Mhm.
set like right after that. I was like, damn. So what really did she say? Like,
Like, what did Tyra
how
say,
bad?
or what did the girl
Yeah,
What
say?
Tyra
Tower
say.
say? Because they said they had to have lawyers on set. So I was like, damn. What did she say?
Like,
They
did
pro-
they help her out of like? Because that's like the whole thing. Tyra was making it seem like the life that she was living was damn near like a life of crime. So like, what was going on? Like,
yeah. Like, no, we don't
I
know
guess
what
we'll find
all.
out in the e-doc.
Yeah. Like, no, we don't know what all Tyra experienced, but at the same time, you should like want to not have models experience that on your own show. So,
Mhm.
hmm
I feel like some black women just become like vengeful in a way, even with like everyday stuff. Like Tyra's like, I'm giving you girls the opportunity and making it like easier for you, and y'all are just playing in my fucking face.
mm
So I'm gonna show you what I had to go through. If y'all are like, she's basically like, if y'all are really serious about being models, I'm gonna show them what I had to go through, but worse, to see if they really want to be a model.
mm
Mhm.
Because it's like you also have to think about it, like segregation and all that stuff was not that long ago, you know.
mm
So for Naomi Campbell, which Naomi Campbell is a whole other thing to talk about, but for Naomi Campbell and Tyra to become models when segregation and stuff is still like kind of actively ending, like we don't know what they was doing to even be able to get to this point. Because at this point in the early 2000s, Tyra was still like mid 30s or something.
yeah,
So it's like, I know me personally, Louisiana, when I was growing up, like certain elementary schools I had went to had was like freshly desegregated. And that
right.
was like early 2000s, you know? So it's like, I wonder if Tyra in a way was vengeful because she's like, I had to go through all of this racist shit and y'all don't even have to go through half of it. So how am I going to make up for that? So y'all
I
can
mm
think
feel
that's
how
like
I feel.
a lot of celebrities they get like abused in Hollywood, and then they end up abusing other people too. Like Jake Bell was like sexually abused as a kid. Not well, a kid in the industry, and then he ended up doing the same thing to another girl. So
mhm,
I think it's like that where
Yeah.
she got racially abused and then just kept passing it on because it's like a not a ritual, but I don't know, like a processing thing probably.
right.
Yeah. Because if you look at it, like Tyra don't have no white friends for real. Like Miss J was the closest thing she probably had to a black friend, and Miss J was already like old enough to be her dad.
Mhm.
So, like, what does that even say? You know?
Yeah, and from what I saw, like in like social media and whatever, like her dating past, like was all in the past few years were all white men. So,
It's kind of giving Doja Cat.
and she has a mixed
You know?
child. So yeah.
And the last video I saw of her, it was like an old video, not super old, but like an old video of her doing an MLM scheme. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
I tried to join that for
what?
those.
You're trying to get the inside scoop.
My defense. This was like 2016,
Yeah,
15, 14, that area. I was 14 to 16 years old. I didn't know no better. So
Girl, you don't even know what MLM was.
exactly. So it was like I knew it was Tyra's company, like and Tyra's like pretty much the face of it, and she was like talking about it a lot. So it was like I want to get into that. Like, and some of the stuff looks actually like good products. I was like, I'm gonna get into. I'm interested into getting into that. So
That's how I
yeah,
feel about what is that brand called? Let's start with an M, that beauty brand.
Mary Kay.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Mary Kay. I know it's like an MLM scheme, but some of that shit is good.
hmm
Their lip products are nice. I don't know. I just feel like the only reason they brought it, all this stuff is coming back up, is because Tyra's doing her 26th cycle or whatever,
5th, yeah.
25th cycle.
Which, why
Like,
would she think that is a good idea? Especially, like, what's been going on? Unless she, like, I feel like she hasn't even, like, learned her lesson, it seems like. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
She isn't really, okay, because she didn't really seem very sympathetic throughout. Like, no,
I
I'm
feel
not
like she was
expecting
very
her,
much
like, no, I'm not expecting her to, like, cry, tear up, and, like, boohoo, snot cry, whatever, about the whole situation. It's just like I kind of expected her to be a little sympathetic, at least, you know.
I feel like Tyra's like a it is what it is. This happened so long ago. Like,
Hmm.
kinda
She
she's
already
just
made
like it's
she
whatever at
already
this
made the money
point.
off of it,
Right.
which at the same time, yeah, it was a long time ago, and yes, like it was bad, but at the same time, like with some of the girls who are, like, for example, Lisa D'Amato, who I said she's on cycle 5 and 17, and the same girl whose friend looked over the contract or whatever. But ever since pretty much she's been let go of that NDA or whatever from the show, she's been talking about top model ever since. Which, yeah, I understand, spread the word, whatever. But it gets to a point to where you talk about it so much, it's like, please get some therapy.
Like, what do you
Like,
want people to do now at this
exactly.
point?
Yeah, it's like it's so over. She's so overdo. Well, yeah, she's pretty much overdoing it. It's like you have a child now. She's been to celebrity rehab on the
Mm.
show, Celebrity Rehab. So it's like, and plus she's been on Shark Tank and selling the product and got all this money now. So it's like, let
Seemed
go.
like her life was really working out for her.
Facts. It's like I understand you want like Tyra to be held accountable for what she's done, like all the producers or whatever. It's just like you don't let it go. And it's like, I don't know.
I think she's just trying to keep the momentum going so that way always she's always gonna have some type of flow of income for something at this point.
I guess.
Because I wonder if she's gonna show up on the other
Sh-
documentary
From
too.
from what I saw and heard, I think so.
Mm.
So she's like, let me cash on this double time.
Mhm. Which I
Okay,
forgot.
airplane, I need to hear.
Which I forgot when
One,
the other documentary is coming out. It's sometime this month, but we could watch it if y'all want. I'll have to find out a way to
Yeah, I want
watch
to
it
see if
though.
she says what Tyra says to her. Said to her.
Facts. Uh, I'll find a way to stream it, but I don't know if it'll be like on Hulu or anything.
if
Oh,
I
that's
get a
true.
job, I can always just get one of my subscription services back.
Thank you. Thank y'all for watching or listening or whatever.
We're both.
Or both. um this make sure y'all subscribe, like, comment if y'all on YouTube. If y'all on Discord, do the same thing. Well, do the same thing. Or go to YouTube and do all those things.
Leave a like.
Exactly.
And tell
Share
us
your
what.
thoughts.
Yep, and share what y'all want us to talk about next, cause I have no clue.
I have a clue.
I want to talk about the 11-year-old girls with the hairstyles.
Yeah, I just saw that today. Anyway,
Yeah, same.
wait. Bye.
Bye.